Everybody, Dean Young Home Tech, heading home, and I wanted to go over again the seller's checklist that I have available on my website, greensboroinspector.com. If you click on the report tab, and scroll down, you will see seller's checklist. Also, you will see the sample reports. I've updated my template. It looks a lot different than what you're going to see online if you look at my sample home inspection report. So I'm going to have to upload a new one at some point for you guys to see. But I do have a sample expanded fungal report from EMSL, and I've got a water quality example from the RAL I use in Kernersville for the well water sample test. So give you an idea what you're getting. You can become familiar with those reports. They're fairly easy to read. I like my new template and covering on my reports now. Looks so clean. So a lot of you haven't seen it yet because I just started using it the middle of last week, and so like I said, I got to update my report on the website. So the seller's checklist is a really good tool to use for your sellers, because again, it's going to shrink that inspection report down. Now, it's not going to take away major things unless you go ahead and get it taken care of, or really know what would be considered an issue, because you're probably not looking for it. But this is going to cover a lot of the big maintenance items. Oh, this is sour. Man, I love this stuff. Best candy in the world. I've got like bags of all flavors. Awesome. But anyway, it's going to help you with getting prepared, getting your house listed. Agents, please share it with your sellers. I think it's going to help them a lot. You got to be proactive with this list and be a go-getter, and just take the time and go through it, because it's going to help you a lot. I think it's going to help your anxiety level a little bit. But there's some things you just can't do, immediately or same day. Some things are going to be more evasive, or you may need further evaluation before you proceed with getting your house listed. So that's something that I'm really trying to push on people, because a lot of sellers do not know the condition their home is in. They think they do, but they don't. And once you've got a list to go by, you can really see. I mean, it takes a lot of common sense too, because some people, they may come from an office background or a technical background or whatever, and they just don't know about these things. They just don't know about electrical and plumbing and HVAC and structural stuff, and all the stuff that goes along with building and handyman and maintenance and repair and stuff like that. They don't know much about it at all. So it's good maybe just to hire somebody to go through with the list and for you, and just pay somebody to walk you through that list, and kind of give you some advice on getting everything taken care of that you can see, especially allowing access to areas like the crawl space area is very important to allow the inspector to get into. The attic is a very important space to allow the inspector to get into. The electrical panel, a water heater, any place where there's a main component, main appliance, you want to allow the inspector to be able to get to that area. Also, if you don't want to go that route, I offer a service at a much lower rate. It's not a home inspection, but what I do is I will meet with the client, the seller, and I will go through as if I were doing a home inspection, but I'm not taking pictures. I'm just walking through. This is up to 2 hours. I'm walking through with the client and I'm pointing out things that are more than likely going to be called on a home inspection. So that will help you. Like again, you're not going to get a report. You're not going to have any pictures, nothing like that. Was it an hour and a half or 2 hours? I can't remember what I put down. I just said 2 hours. I may be contradicting myself. I'll have to verify that. It may have been an hour and a half. But either way, I think it is an hour and a half. So correct me, or I'm corrected, whatever. I believe it's an hour and a half. And I will walk you through step by step my procedures, and I'm going to point out things for you, and you can take notes or whatever, and it's going to save you a lot of time. Some agents prefer that their sellers just wait and have a home inspection and see what comes up on the report, but that can hinder a lot of things. That can delay everything. You know, it could be a setback. You find out there's a structural issue, or there's a mechanical issue, or plumbing or electrical issue. You know, it may be something that you don't have the money for. You're gonna have to wait. And maybe something you have to pay on. I mean, who knows? I mean, anything's possible. Especially if you're not one of these people that go in your crawl space to, you know, every season or so to make sure everything's good. At least kind of look in and, you know, because there are surprises, and there's nothing like a seller putting their house on the market and you get a home inspection, and then you find out there's structural issues, and then the buyer comes to you with these structural issues. You're shelling out more than likely some big money. In most cases, that's usually what happens. So if you can know ahead of time, hey, you're going to need a structural engineer. Hey, you're going to need a general contractor. Hey, you can save up, get the repairs done, and then put your house on the market. But I know things come up, job change, life situations, you know, relationships. I get it 100%. I know how things just, today everything's cool, tomorrow you're moving out. I completely understand it. Time is of the essence type situations. I completely understand that. Not everybody can go the route that I'm explaining, but anyway, the house I just left was actually a modular home. Everything was really nice inside. I didn't really call too much inside. But then I got to the exterior. Got to the foundation and the crawl space. They had a foundation put in on this modular home, brick foundation, pretty high. Probably 4 or 5 foot, maybe. It's pretty high. Apparently one end of the modular home had slipped off or came off the foundation, and there's a horizontal crack, and the wall is being pushed out, bowed on the far end of the house where nobody probably ever goes. It's near the wooded area, and these buyers have been out there several times and had no idea. It's even got the siding waving and bowed out. So there's something going on that end. I didn't feel safe going under the crawl space, which in a modular home you're not going to see much anyway, because there's black insulation, and then you see steel beams, and then you see masonry block. That's about all you see in a modular. There's not much to report on in a modular. So I did inspect it from the entryway. So that really worried the buyer, because I'd actually done an inspection for this buyer early spring, and she's been looking since early spring, and she can't catch a break. And you know, this home, she spent money on an air quality test that I done. She spent money on well water sample that I done. She spent money on a septic inspection. I'm not sure who done that. Also termite, and then the home. She's put a lot of money in this property, and the last one she had me do, air quality, mold, water, and radon, and termite. Just about every service that I offered. So she's putting a lot of money into it. I'm telling you, it's not cheap. But any repeat customer, I do give a discount, and every little bit helps, I know. But I know these inspections and stuff cost in the hundreds of dollars, and I know it all adds up over time, and you're working, saving, and just going through emotions and stuff. And when I pointed out that horizontal crack and I showed them everything, she was just kind of like, her mouth just fell open and was really, I think it bothered her a lot more than she probably wanted to react in front of me. You know, I recommended a structural engineer. I wouldn't say that it's something that a general contractor should want to do. But everybody's got their own opinion, and they're going to start with a friend of theirs that's a general contractor. And I told him, I was like, you know, that's a good start if that's what you want to do, but honestly, I would get a structural engineer. I mean, this wall's pushing you out, horizontal cracks. It's, you know, you need to know what's going on here. You need some calculations and some load stuff, because evidently when this thing was set, it wasn't set properly. And this is a big issue. This is a big deal. This is a structure. You know, modular homes are sitting on the steel beams on top of the masonry block. I understand that, but you're building this foundation brick wall around with air vents, and you're placing your modular on there as well, and then one end slides off and it's pushing the wall out, I mean, there's an issue. And it's probably not going to be a cheap fix. So, you know, the buyer's not going to pay for it. And the seller is probably going to be put in a dilemma because they've already packing up. So it all comes back to getting somebody to walk you through your home before you put it on the market. Some people, like I'm saying, they want to wait till they get an inspection, and then the listing agent and so forth goes over the report and blah blah blah. Then you see structural this, and then bling bling bling, the dollar signs start popping up, and then the seller is kind of discouraged, you know. And here's the other part of that is, I would be called the deal killer from the seller because I found something that was already there, that was obvious, that is a concern, that is an issue, that is structurally not sound, not safe. And I would be the one that would be my fault. Like, I put that horizontal crack in the bowing in the wall. I caused it to happen because I was there. Inspectors get blamed for so much. I had one a couple weeks ago. It was so funny. It was a really nice house, I have to say, really nice house. And I pulled up and the couple was leaving. And I done the inspection, and I always leave my card behind. I gotta print some more of this one. I started to run out of ink, but this card right here, I leave it behind on the counter. It's got a little checklist on the back. I left it on the counter. I got home. About 30 minutes later, the phone rings. I look at the number. I'm like, I don't recognize that number. She's like, this is Miss Smith, and you just done an inspection at my house on blah, blah, blah street. And I was like, yes, ma'am. She's like, my ice maker's not working anymore. Did you do something? Did you unplug something? Or did you turn it off or mess around in there? I said, no, ma'am, I don't look at refrigerators or ice makers. I don't know. She was like, well, all I know is it was working. It was working when we left, and it wasn't working when we got back. And you and the other people are the only ones here. I said, man, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, honestly, I didn't mess with the refrigerator, you know. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe it was just a coincidence, but then I started thinking, who was going to know their ice maker was working before and after the inspection? I mean, what made her think that it was working? Did she see it like drop ice or hear it drop ice before they left? And then she came home and she looked in there and said, hey, it hasn't dropped ice. And that inspector was here. I don't know. But I haven't heard back from her, and it's, you know, it happens, you know, man. Somebody could take a shower and go to work, and they know there's gonna be a home inspector in their house today, and they come home and they get in the shower in the night, and they turn the shower on, all of a sudden the valve starts to leak or something, and then they call me and it's like, yeah, you did an inspection of my house today and my shower's leaking. Okay, and I mean, honestly, I mean, when your car breaks down, do you call the manufacturer and say, this car was running great when I first bought it, but now it won't start? I mean, I don't know, man. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna get in here and tab this out and get this report to this girl, and so she can forward it to her contracting friend. Yeah. So we'll see you guys soon, man. 336 989-8185 if you want to book an inspection, or hometechnc.com.